one, or I should say number 5 on my list of myths to debunk about certifications are they're all about passing that exam. They're all about passing that exam. Certification process is only about cramming or passing that exam. Like, as soon as I get that piece of paper, that's all I need in life. That's going to make my life complete. That's going to excel my career to the next level. This is definitely a myth. Many certifications, including Security Plus, even Network Plus, and yeah, even A Plus, have a little bit of practical lab associated with them. They have some minor real-world simulations, and while those simulations or those practical based questions aren't that difficult to pass, the fact is that you need to retain that information. I can't tell you how many times I hear from students that, oh, I'm cramming for this certification. Like, somehow this certification is going to suddenly make all their dreams come true, and that's not really the case. The fact is that you have to retain the information. If I see that you've got a certification, the expectation is that you know that certification, that you studied for it, that you retain some of that knowledge. And so if you go to an interview and you get through all the HR hurdles, and then you come to me and I ask you a basic question like, what's the CIA triad? And you can't answer that question, the interview's over. It doesn't matter if I continue to talk to you and continue to keep you on the hook for like 5 or 10 minutes. In my mind, I've already checked out. If you go to a cybersecurity interview and your interview is less than 10 minutes long, you've already lost. I can't tell you how many times I've asked a simple question from a brand new cybersecurity person trying to get into the field or IT, and I just can't hire them because you can't answer basic questions about a certification that you just received. And so understand that the certification is not all about just passing the exam. That piece of paper is not going to get you where you want to be. You have to retain that knowledge. You have to retain that information in order to move forward. All right, number 4 on my list of myths, certifications make you an expert. I know, no, certifications do not make you an expert. Certifications are a point in time where you're able to understand the bare minimum of knowledge required to pass that certification. Obtaining the certification doesn't magically make you go and say, oh, I'm an expert in this field. I would argue that I have a doctorate degree, and my doctorate, if anything, taught me one thing. It was that I am not an expert. There were so many different things in my own PhD program that I had no idea about, and I had been working in the field for 20 plus years. I already had a master's in this subject. I had multiple certifications, and my PhD taught me that I don't know anything. And that's really what it taught me, right? There's knowledge is always moving forward, always going forward, especially in cybersecurity. You may be or believe that you're an expert in one small, tiny little fraction of a thing, but that does not make you an expert across the board. And chances are that if I'm hiring or I'm looking for a cybersecurity person in my field, I don't want them to be just an expert in this little field and not know anything else. That's not what I'm looking for. I need somebody that understands basic constructs across the board. They can do multiple sets. You'll find in cybersecurity that we don't just go after one target, right? We have to go over multiple targets. And so you need to understand multiple points across the board. So no, certifications do not make you an expert in the field. And I would even argue that it's incredibly hard to become an expert in any single field, especially if you're just starting out in the world of cybersecurity. That leads us to number 3. Certifications are more important than experience. I see this all the time from brand new high school students or even college students that seem to think that, oh, I'm going to go out and get all these certifications. And I don't need experience. I'll just get the certifications. That's going to get me the job. This could not be farther from the truth. Experience is going to trump certifications every single time. Every single time. All right. Now, that doesn't mean that certain jobs don't have a requirement to have a certification, right? You'll see this a lot of times in DoD or DoD contractors and in many, many corporations where, like, I want you to have Security Plus. And you can't even get through the HR gateway without having Security Plus. And that's fine, but that doesn't mean that it's more important than experience, right? You have to tamper your knowledge, your certifications with experience. And so if you're out there and you're a college student, or maybe you're trying to transition over into cybersecurity, find experience somewhere. I don't care if it's volunteering with a church or a nonprofit. It doesn't matter if you're going out there once a week to go work on your buddy's machine, start a consulting company, do something that says, I'm getting experience. That practical hands-on knowledge, more often than not, is going to be worth 10 times what a certification is worth. Now, again, certifications have value. Otherwise, they wouldn't be out there. People wouldn't be requesting them. But in the big picture of things, certifications are not more important than experience. If you're one of those people that's just chasing certificate after certificate after certificate, I would implore you to please go get some on-the-job training, right? Whether that's volunteering or even a help desk position. Believe it or not, anything that touches the computer system will help you in the long run of gaining that experience, getting that hands-on practical knowledge versus that theoretical knowledge that a certificate offers. All right, leads us to our next myth, number 2. Certifications are only for beginners. No, this is not true. Certifications come in a variety of different perspectives, right? We have our low turn, our entry-level certifications. There's numerous ones out there. There's Sec Plus, there's Network Plus, there's GIAC. There's just a ton of them, right? They have the mid-career certification, CEH, CompTIA, CYSA, Pentest Plus. It can be argued that there's a lot of mid-tier certifications, and you would find those to be very, very valuable as you're propelling your career forward. And so I think this idea that certifications are only for beginners, that I somehow grab my certification and then I'm done for the rest of my life, it's very much not true. You should continue to compel yourself or propel yourself in your career. CIS, for instance, doesn't even allow you to get their CIS certification without 5 years of experience. And I consider that to be a very advanced certificate. One of the only certificates that I've ever failed on the first try, right? It took me 2 attempts. And that's okay. It's okay. But to understand that certificates are only for beginners, not accurate at all. And that leads me to my number 1 myth that I hear all the time. Certifications guarantee a job. No. Okay? Certifications unlock doors. They're like anything else, right? A bachelor's degree in cybersecurity does not guarantee you a job. A PhD does not guarantee you a job. There are no guarantees in life, right? I think it's important, especially for young people, to understand that just you could have everything right. You could literally go through and say, okay, I'm going to get Network Plus, and I'm going to get Security Plus, and I'm going to get CYSA. I got a bachelor's degree in cybersecurity. I got a master's degree in cybersecurity. I went out and volunteered at the local church. I went and volunteered over at this nonprofit. I've got, volunteer experience for about 2 years and still not land that dream job. All right, there's no guarantees in life. There are things that we could do to increase our statistical probability that we'll land that dream job, right? Like doing all those things. But there's also jobs out there that you literally get Security Plus and all of a sudden you've got a job offer, right time, right place, right attitude, right? Nothing in life is guaranteed, right? But ensuring or thinking that a certification is going to suddenly make your life magically better, like this certification is going to suddenly, the heavens are going to open up, money's going to come raining down. It's a complete myth. It's a complete fallacy. You've got to continually work for what you want, all right? The people that are successful in life and in cybersecurity are the ones that continually go out there and they grab life by the horns and they say, this is what I want. They research what they want to do. They go out and they increase their statistical odds of getting what they want, right? Which is why I'm not a billionaire, because I don't want it bad enough, right? And I say that a little bit with tongue in cheek, but that's the truth, right? If I really wanted to become a billionaire, there are steps that I could do in order to become a billionaire, right? There are things that I could do, and there would be failures along the way, and that's okay. But that doesn't mean that it's just going to fall in my lap. And I think that young people, especially college students, especially high school students, they seem to think that there's this one silver bullet that's going to suddenly make my life better. And I'll admit, I was that way when I was that age. 100%. I think most people were that age, were like that, right? But I got to tell you, at almost 50 years old, it doesn't work that way. You've got to work towards what you want, and certifications are not going to guarantee you a job. You've got to get the certification. You got to get the practical knowledge, and if possible, you need to get the formal education. I'm a big proponent of formal education. Anyway, that's it for me today. Those were the 5 myths for cybersecurity certifications. Until next time, I'm Dr. K. Please like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon. We'll see you again.